How do you know that I sing in that song? Won't you stay a little longer with me? Wow, you've been through my catalog. Justice for Patrick Sean. Julia. He's the best.
How did you first start learning about music?
Music. Well, my grandma, she loved music. She was every day music had to be in her life. So me and my brother, we started playing violin. I think I played for like 4 months, and then I realized I could not play violin, so I stopped. But it was her. She just introduced music to my life, and it's been stuck since then. And it's just always been, music has always been something in my life that has been natural. It's like eating, it's like sleeping. Music has to be in my life.
How did you get your start in the music industry?
It was a friend of ours, a friend of my dad, actually. He said he had heard me playing a couple of my songs, because I started as a singer-songwriter, just sitting with my guitar, writing my emotions. And he told my dad to bring my guitar and go to a place where like local artists went. And just that day, they had 2 producers as guests. So they put me in a room and they said, play something. And so I did. And then they just stared at me, and then they said, we're going to give you 30 minutes. And we want you to write 2 songs. And I'd never like written a song like that, because songs to me, they come out of my emotions. But something happened in that room, and I wrote those 2 songs, and they liked them, and they introduced me. They took me to Stockholm. So I was born in Västerås, and it's like 1 hour from Stockholm. So I started traveling to Stockholm during the weeks, and just started writing songs. Started learning how the industry was, because I had no idea.
You were in Team Marie Picasso at Körslaget. How did you end up that show?
You had to find that, right?
Yeah.
And you have a picture. I don't think people can guess which one is me. Okay, Marie Picasso, Körslaget. The fun story about that thing is, 1 year before, my mom was actually watching TV. She was watching Körslaget. And then she was like, Mel, come and watch TV with me. And I had nothing to do. So I stepped into the living room and I saw that Körslaget was on. And I was like, Mom, no, can we seriously watch something else? And then 1 year later, one of my closest and best friends today, it's crazy because I normally like don't just meet people that I haven't met before, just chatting with them. But me and my best friend today, like all these years before, she was like, hi, do you want to follow me to the audition of Körslaget? And I don't know how or why, but I was like, okay. And when I was standing with her, like waiting, she was like, don't you want to just apply? Don't you want to do an audition? And it wasn't in my plan, but somehow I jumped out and stepped in like all day. I couldn't decide, but in the end I did it, and they chose me as one of the people singing. So my mom was very happy.
Yeah, because I actually remember seeing you on that show.
You do?
Yeah, because when I was doing the research, I was like, someone mentioned it, and then I was like, yeah, that's right. I remember seeing her, and then like I connected it.
That was me.
Did you have any experience with choirs before this show?
Yes, I actually went to a music school, 4th grade to 9th grade, and it was like I'm so thankful that I did that, So I sang in choir for 6 years, and it actually like it made me fall in love with music in a whole different way. And the whole like I think that's why I love working in like with other people, because I kind of miss that. You know, when you perform and you sing in a choir, you always have someone next to you, and you can give each other that special energy. And I love that, sharing music with other people. Yeah.
And what inspired you to get your degree in marketing and business economy?
Oh my God, you've really done your research.
Yeah.
I mean, music has always been what I want to do in life. But after graduating from high school, my parents, they were like, Mel, we support you 100%. And they have always done that, and they still do. Like, my parents are the best. But they were like, while working into the music business, don't you want to like study? And I was actually like, it was quite easy for me to choose what I wanted to study, because marketing together with music, I mean, it's a perfect connection. So I think it was just natural to continue. And while I was studying at the university, I also like I traveled to Stockholm a couple of days after lecturing, and then I also trained. I was a tennis coach as well. So it was 3 very hectic years of my life, and I'm thankful not doing all of those things at the moment right now. But I'm thankful that I did, because I learned a lot about myself.
How have you been able to apply your education to what you do today?
I would say yes. Like, now I know that I'm not gonna do my, how do you say, I don't know how to say it in English, but bokföring, when you like in the end of the year, like when you have to close your company. I don't want to do that, because I've learned that it's a lot of headache doing that. No, but seriously, marketing together with the music industry, I think is just a very good combination. So yeah, I think every day in work I use what I studied.
And you also mentioned that you used to be a tennis coach.
Yeah.
How long did you do that, and what made you start doing that?
I think tennis has always been like something in our family. So I started playing tennis when I was 4. And I think I kind of like, I never competed playing tennis. I don't know why, because I don't think I never liked doing. I've done it twice. Okay, I've done it twice, and one time I won, one time I lost, and then I had enough. But when I was 16, I started like coaching others, and I did it for a couple of years. So it was my kind of like job sideways over here during the weekends, and it was good times. I kind of miss it sometimes.
You have done backing vocals for artists such as Mariette, Camphor Drops, and the Mamas in Melodifestivalen. Can you tell us about the process as working as a backing vocalist?
It's a fun story, because when I was introduced to Melodifestivalen, I actually didn't know people were standing back, like behind the stage singing. And 2014, that was my first time in Melodifestivalen as a songwriter and doing BVs. And while I was like, I went to the arena, it was in Linköping, and everything was so new, and I was super excited. And then my artist started to sing, and then the whole team were like, okay, we need one more back, like behind the stage. So it was me. And I just remember having so much fun standing next to Britta Bergström and just doing the BVs. It's just fun like hearing those details and being like just singing together with other people. So I don't know, I fell in love with it, and it just I've done it since, and I did it this year as well, and it's just the whole like feeling of being in a team. I love it. I love it.
How do you get a job like this? How to get chosen as a backing vocalist?
Sometimes it's the artists, and sometimes it's just the labels calling. And most of the times, like when I've written the song, it's pretty natural that I also sing the BVs, but it's very different. It's just, and sometimes it's other songwriters that call me up and say, can you please do the BVs? So it's very different. It depends on the artist and who I'm singing with.
What was the inspiration for the song Victorious, and how did Lina Hedlund end up on it?
Me and other songwriters we were at a camp in Vellinge, a Warner camp, actually, a Mello camp. And one of the days I was in a group with Dotter, Johanna, and Richard Edwards. And the A&R gave us a lead, an artist to write to, but just that day we didn't feel so inspired to write to that specific artist. So me and Johanna, we were like, we've never written schlager-ish pop, so let's just try and do it. Let's just have fun. So Richard, he was just looking at us both, and me and Johanna, we had the time of our life. It was so much fun. And then I remember having the title Victorious in my phone, and it just felt perfect. But the process of writing the song, like, that was simple, but the process of like getting the song pitched was not so simple, because that Warner didn't really believe in the song, the title, or like the hook in the song. But we did, and me and Johanna, we were like, no, this is good. This is epic, and we love it. So it actually ended up with Universal, because they felt what we felt. And then I remember Frida at Universal, she called me up and she was like, Lina Hedlund. And it was a perfect match. So yeah, I think it's important sometimes to just, if others don't believe in your work, just believe in your own gut feeling, because there's a lot of opinions out there in the business.
Yeah, it's a really good song, and Lina did it very well.
She's a queen.
Yeah. What was the inspiration for the song Irresistible?
Irresistible. Wow, Irresistible is one of my first released songs. It was like when I was so newly introduced to the business, and wow, look at me. That's the good old days. No, but that was my first or my second session ever writing with another songwriter. And it was just vibe all the way. But would I release it today? No, because today when I release my songs, I'm much more connected to the songs. As I said, like, I was super new, and it was just one of like my first bops. One of the songs that will always follow in my journey, and I will not sing it live again.
What was the inspiration for the song Wasted?
Wasted. Wow, you've been through my catalog.
Yeah, I have.
Wasted was, I remember going to Eskilstuna, a city in Sweden, and I met two amazing producers, Robin Ellingsen and Bali Harko. And we had just such a fun session. And like, once again, another session where I just wrote a song, feeling the lyrics, but not as I do today. Like, I love Wasted. It's an amazing song, but when it was written, I did not really understand what I was writing. But when I finished the song, I remember that I had started to experience what loving someone else was and how it felt. So I'm just glad that when we finished the song, I managed to put that special emotion that I think I do in my songs today.
Tell us about the music video and how you met with the director Julius Hayes.
Julius, he's the best. It was actually through my best friend Joakim Kvist, because he had started to get to know him, and he saw his talent. And Julius was, I think he was 16 or something. And I remember texting him and wanting to work with him, and we just connected immediately, because when you see someone, you know when you see talent, and Julius is all about that. So we connected, and I texted my best friend Sarah, and she was super excited to be in our team. So we went to Värmland in Sweden, and because her father lives there, and they have amazing forests. So we went there and we recorded the studio, and we just wanted it to be earthy and just very clean and naked in a way. So and seeing Julius and what he's doing today, and knowing what he's gonna continue doing in the future, I'm just so happy for him.
Yeah, he's doing great. I really like what he's doing with performances in Mello and all that.
He is. I mean, Daughter's performance and Patrick's performance this year, he knows how to put that extra magic.
And you did some acting in the music video. Was this your first acting experience?
Yes, and I don't think I should act again. No, I did. It was fun. It was just doing this indie video, and we had such a good time. And if I ever act again, remind me to rehearse more.
What's your approach in writing new songs? Do you start with lyrics or melodies?
It's very different. Sometimes it's just a word, and that word can give me the whole emotion for the song. And sometimes it's just a melody. Sometimes it's both at the same time. It's very different. So it depends on the song. Every song has been written differently, and that's the exciting thing. And just sometimes I just hear the song. The funny thing is, I'm releasing an EP soon, and I have a voice memo of one of the songs, because I heard the whole melody in my head, the whole chorus was in my head. And when I just pressed play and I wanted to remember the song in a memo, it's hilarious what came out, because it wasn't what was in my head. It was a whole different note. And then somehow I found what my head was trying to say, and I managed to sing the whole chorus. But I will release that voice memo when my EP is out. And it's just, I think it's hilarious, because it sounds like crap.
Sometimes it's fun to see what a song can come from, even voice memos and the behind the things.
100%. And that's why it's so important to save all those voice memos, because now it's just fun hearing the process. So when you talk about Victorious, I know I have those voice memos of me and Johanna just laughing so much and being so excited. And sometimes it's important to also go back and remember those moments, because it's those moments that that we remember.
Yeah, exactly. What was the inspiration for the song Make Room?
Make Room. Wow, Make Room is, I would say, the first song when I connected with music, with my own music. It was written after I was madly in love with someone and it ended. So Make Room is about singing about that person and just realizing that it's time to maybe let go, and being in the hurt, the sorrow. It's just a lot of emotions in Make Room. And to me, it was when I realized that this is how I want to write music.
You were one of the songwriters for the Danish entry in Eurovision 2019.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for the song Love is Forever, and how did Leonora end up on it?
Love is Forever was, it was actually one of my first songwriting camps I went to in Spain, Mallorca. And it was my last day at the camp, and I was put together with Emile Ley and Lise Kable. And I remember like walking into the room, and Lisa, she had her MIDI keyboard, and she played the rhythm of the song. And she actually she had the chorus like like in her head, and she sang it to us. And I had never written a song like that before, but she had such a vibe that I was like, let's just do it. Because sometimes you just need to trust your co-writer when your co-writer feels something. And I remember us starting to I was like, okay, let's go. Let's just do this all in. And I also remember when we started to write lyrics, and I remember myself writing something, and I was like, Lisa, this is cheesy, right? And she just looked at me and she was like, Mel, I have no cheese limit. And that kind of made everything, because I just went all in after that, like melodies, lyrics, all in. And I also remember us having one part, the French part. It ended up being in French, German, Danish, maybe it was another language as well. But it was just, I just sang the demo vocals in gibberish French. And in the end, we were like, okay, the song is placed and we need to have real lyrics. So it was actually my mom who wrote the French part. So I'm just very happy to have my mom included. Unfortunately, she's not included as a writer, but to me, she is 1,000% a songwriter of the song.
Yeah, because I was actually going to ask you about that, because I found out about your mom helping out with the song.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. I remember me being in the kitchen in Västerås. I was visiting my family, and I was like, Mom, you need to help us because we don't have the French lyrics and no one of us knows French like in a professional way. So me and her, we wrote the lyrics, and yeah, sometimes it's different, the process when writing, but to me, when someone contributes, the person has to be on the song. And I will always stand for that, but it is what it is. But I know she wrote the lyrics, and it's a memory for life. Like, my mom actually wrote lyrics for a song in Eurovision. That's kind of epic to me.
Not many people can say that.
No.
What was the inspiration for the song Forget You?
Forget You was also one of the songs I wrote to myself in the make room kind of era. I remember being like heartbroken, and I was in Västerås again in the kitchen talking to my mom. And I was very sad at that moment. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, sometimes I just wish I could snap my fingers and forget her. And that was like the start of the whole song. Sometimes you just feel that, okay, this is something I have to write about. So I did. So I remember like recording the chorus because I heard it along with the lyrics, and I went to the studio, and I had the idea, and I told Patrick Sean and Herman Gardarve that we're gonna write a song today, and if we want to write this idea, it will be a song for myself. It's not a song I can give away to someone else. And they were just super excited to write it with me. So it's another personal song that's been very important for myself.
Tell us about the artwork for the song, how you created it.
Like, to be honest, the artwork for my latest releases, Make Room, Forget You, and like from Make Room till now, I've had the honor of working together with Magnus Rangvid, one of my closest friends. And he's just the best. And what I love about him is that he feels what we create and he manages to put it in pictures. And with Forget You, he just wanted to keep it simple, super simple, and connect it with the lyrics, but make it artsy in its own way. So it's actually me and him in a studio just snapping my finger with color. And I just remember him taking different pictures, and when he got that cover art, he was like, Mel, we have it. And yeah, I just loved working with him. He's insane.
It looks great because it's something different from what you usually see.
It is. It's something different, and it's just that simplicity that I love. And I think that's what Magnus knows best, like simplicity. Don't overdo. I love that picture. Yeah. I think I'm going to frame it and put it here in my home.
Yeah, it looks good.
I mean, it's cool.
You have frequently written music together with Herman Gardarve. How did you two meet, and what makes you keep working with him?
Herman, I met Herman through two of my friends, Carl Emil Larsson, amazing drummer, and Helmer Norby, amazing musician. And we've written, Helmer and me, we've written a couple of my songs as well, and he has produced them. And they're all from Gotland, here in Sweden. And I remember, because I was touring with Mariette back in 2015. That was the first year. And they were musicians as well in the band. So I remember like Helmer and Kalle saying, Mel, you should write with Herman. He's amazing. And I think that's how we were connected through them. And I've kept him since.
How do you adapt your songwriting process when writing with other people?
Like, to me, it's been a journey of learning the balance of writing to myself and writing to someone else. When I just came into the music business, I always wrote from my deepest emotions. And I remember my first song in Melodifestivalen, Glow, being like the break point of learning not to give away too much of myself, because it's a fine balance. I always put my heart in what I do, but it's something else when writing to yourself. And with Glow, with that song in Melodifestivalen, when it was given away to someone else, I learned that, okay, I need to start knowing when and where to put my heart in music in that level. So I think today, when I meet a new artist, I think it's important to like soak in that person's energy and that person's artistry, and try to combine it with what I do best. So yeah, it's always better to know the artist, because I have a story about a song that I will release myself, a session I had with an amazingly talented younger artist who, to me at that moment, did not really know what he wanted to say with the artistry. And when we were in the room, it became kind of like I couldn't grab anything from him. So I had to go into myself just to be able to write something. And I remember the artist leaving the room because the artist had to go somewhere else. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna write a song now, and this song cannot be pitched to someone else because it's too personal. And I remember after the session, I was like, I texted the publisher and I told him, I'm so sorry, but this song, I can't give it away. And I won't, because it will be in my EP. Mm-hmm. So it's a fine balance. Sometimes it's very hard to find that balance, but so far I think I've managed okay.
What was the inspiration for the song Shy?
Shy was actually written in Spain, in Mallorca as well. And it was my first session with one of my favorite producers today, called Fredrik. I'm not going to pronounce his last name. It's Danish, and I don't pronounce it well. But me and him, we were totally vibing. And I think I kind of had a small crush on someone. And I was just 100% in that mode. So that song just wrote itself. But I remember when I was planning to release it, because it was released like a year later. And the funny thing is, like, the person I wrote the song about, that crush kind of like, it ran out pretty quick. But when I finished the song and I rewrote some lyrics and I rewrote melodies and stuff, the song actually ended up being about my partner today. So the song has a quite fun story. But to me today, it's 100% about my girlfriend that I have. So it's just cool, like how a song can start with an emotion and end up being something else. It's a journey. A song is always a journey.
And what can you share about creating the music video and who you collaborate with to make it?
Once again, Magnus Rangvid. And when we took the cover art, he wanted to also film visuals, just to have some visuals for the release. And I think the visuals were so beautiful. So it was actually, Patrick sent me all the visuals and Patrick all the visuals. So it was actually Patrick Sean who helped me put together the visuals. He is actually also very amazing at cutting, like making video stuff, Patrick. He has a lot of talents, that man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was me and Patrick just sitting and vibing to the visuals that Magnus had filmed.
What was the inspiration for the song Nothing?
Nothing is one of... I put Make Room, Forget You, Nothing, and I have another song called Irony. I put them... They're a chapter of their own. And Nothing is also like about realizing that we have no idea what we give ourselves, what we jump into when falling in love with someone. And I think the song is like practically about that. We know nothing. And it's about, like, the verses I sing about the situation, and it's just like me throwing up all my emotions again. Yeah.
In this year's Melodifestivalen, you wrote on Patrick Jansson's Tears Run Dry. What can you share about writing the songs?
Wow, look at that picture. Seriously, how beautiful was that performance? I will forever.
Yeah, he was so robbed.
Like, me being a songwriter, of course, I would say he was robbed, but seriously, he was robbed. Mm-hmm. But as I told him, and he knows it himself, like, his performance is out there. What he wanted to do is out there. Those who needed to see that performance, they've seen it. And hopefully others will Google themselves or YouTube themselves to it. The whole, like, I remember Patrick, we booked 2 days just to write to him. And during the night, he woke up and he had the whole idea. So he recorded the voice memo, and the day after he came to the studio, and his eyes were just shining, because I knew that he had an amazing idea going on. So he played the voice memo. He told us about the concept, what he wanted to do, and me and Herman, we know each other so well, so we were like, okay, let's just do it. And the song wrote itself. And at the end of the day, the song was there, and I think the three of us, we know when we've created something special, at least for ourselves. And we felt the same thing with Tears Run Dry. And I'm just excited that Patrick got the chance to finalize it and to put that important performance in Melodifestivalen's history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many people that got so upset that he didn't qualify.
Really?
Yeah. There was a lot of people tweeting and messaging me, and they were like, no, it was so good. The song and everything.
It was good. And it was something else in a way. Because he always wanted to build his little dream world. You know, that world where you can escape, where you can realize that being unique and being different is perfect. And to me, that's art. But we can't forget that Melodifestivalen is not always about... It's a TV show.
Yeah.
And sometimes art doesn't, like, go to the final. But the important thing is that it's out there. And the people who feel it, they feel it.
Yeah.
But justice for Patrick Sean.
Yeah. You've frequently written music together with Patrick. How did you two meet, and what makes you keep working with him?
Like it's a kind of funny story, because me and Patrick, we've known each other for many years. We have the same management, and we've had it since 2012. But so we've kind of like we've known each other, but we've never really like we never spoke to each other during a couple of years. It was hi and nothing more. And then something happened 2015. I don't know what happened, but something in the universe changed. And I just realized that I have my best friend right in front of me. And yeah, we've been so close since. It just clicked. And it clicked as in friendship and creatively as well. And I'm super thankful for that, because he's one of the best. And it's always nice to have him there. Like when we go to events, not anymore because we're in a pandemic, but it's just always nice to have him there. He's family.
How did the collaboration between you, Jimmy Jansson, and Julia Alfrida come to be for Julia's Mello song?
How swag is she? Julia Alfrida's song, it was actually Julia and Jimmy. I think the process is Karin at SVT. She texted Jimmy, and she wanted him and Julia to try and write her Mello song. And they met one day, and then that day I don't know, Jimmy just thought about me, and he texted me and he was like, Mel, do you want to be our third person to write and finish this idea? Because they had the production idea was there. And I totally vibed. So I said yes, and we booked the day, and the song just wrote itself as Patrick's song. So it was one of my funniest sessions. And me and Julia as well, she's amazing in every way, and we clicked. So yeah, that's the process. It's thanks to Jimmy.
What was your approach in writing Rich, and how did you adapt the song to match Julia's style?
When I heard the track, the production, I kind of understood where we were going. And I remember also like searching for Julia on Spotify, and I tried to find something, but not too much, because when like the question you asked before, when you write to someone else, to me it's about like getting the vibe and the energy of the person when you meet the person the first time. And she was just so cool sitting there, and I kind of immediately knew like, okay, this is where we're going. So it was just her vibe. Yeah, it just came naturally together with all of our musical languages in a way.
You have a song in Danish Grand Prix named Abracadabra that will be performed by Claudia Campagnol. Yes. What was the inspiration for that song, and how did you end up being one of the songwriters?
Abracadabra is actually, to me, a personal song, but a song that I felt that someone else would sing. It was written the second year I went to Mallorca. It was a Melody Grand Prix and Mello camp, kind of Eurovision camp, and it was my last day as well. Something about those last days, and I was put together with Emile, who I wrote "Love Is Forever" with. and Louis Yarto. And I remember just feeling a little bit sad that day. And Emil started playing chords, and the song just wrote itself. And I'm just thankful they let me sing my heart out and write my emotions. So it was Emil sitting and playing, and the song just wrote itself in the room. And I had the title Abracadabra, but it's a title that I've been a little bit like, you can't put it everywhere because it's such a strong word itself. But to me, I believe it works perfect in this kind of song. So yeah, the song is actually about my grandmother singing to my uncle, who unfortunately passed away in an accident, a traffic accident. So it's about her missing him and her journey, because she's had a tough time. And so Abracadabra is to my grandma.
Tell us about the Fever that was released by Jasmine Sokko. Where was this written, and how did you end up being one of the songwriters?
Jasmine Sokko is such an epic artist from Singapore, and it was my publisher, Northbound. He emailed me, and they had a camp at the where Warner Asia, a couple of artists from Warner Asia came to Sweden, and I could only be there for one day, but I'm very happy that I had my session with Jasmine, with Svea, and Elias Neslin. No, we just vibed. We totally vibed. It was good feeling in the room. And I remember poor Svea, she had lost her voice that day. I don't know why, but she was like communicating with us through nods and writing lyrics with us and just doing this, trying to sing melodies. And I tried to understand what she was singing, and it was just a fun session. And Jasmine, like, she knows who she is as an artist, so it was very easy to just write to her. But it was vibe. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they liked the song and chose it. So yep.
It's great, because I actually got someone asked me to ask you about it. So they really like the song. So it's like, can you ask about the song, because it's really good.
Cool. Nice. No, I actually love it as well. And it's one of those songs when you just leave the room when you've written it and you feel like, can you just send it immediately, because I want to have it in my ears.
Tell us about the song Means to an End that was released by Adept, and it's a completely different genre from what you usually do. How did you end up having vocals in that song?
How do you know that I sing in that song?
I do my research.
Oh, wow. Adept. Well, okay, my brother, he is with no doubt the most talented person I know. And he played in a couple of bands when we were younger. 2 of them play in Adept today. I think they still do. So that's how I know the band. And I remember like Gustav in the band texting me because they needed female vocals on the song. And they asked me if I could just sing it. So that's the process. But I'm impressed how you know that's me.
Yeah, I do my research. I found out that you're like talking about it. So I was like, oh, then I have to listen.
Yes.
Tell us about Lie to Me. That was released by Laura Marano. Where was this written, and how did you end up being one of the songwriters?
Laura Morano, she's from the States, and she was actually she was here in Sweden as well, and it was through my publisher again, and I had a day with her. Yeah, it was a camp. So there were a couple of rooms writing to her that day. But she jumped into the room. She was super excited. She had her like clear idea what she wanted to say in the song. So yeah, it was written very, very easily as well. It's fun when you realize those songs are just easily writes themselves. That's the songs. They always end up being the best in a way. Then she went back to the States with a couple of songs, and she picked the one we wrote with her. And it was written with Cassandra, I remember, also an amazing songwriter.
Tell us about The Brightest Diamond that were released by Mira. Where was this written, and how did you end up one of the songwriters?
The Brightest Diamond was, I have not written so much to, I think that song was released, in China. And I was at a camp many years ago, and I remember walking into the room and not being super like comfortable in what we were gonna write, because it is different to write to the Asian market. But I was in the room with such professionals, and they were like, just do your thing. What's good is good. And then Andreas Öberg, he's crazy, so talented. He heard like a million harmonies. And I remember that session was me singing harmonies for like a couple of hours. And in the end, I remember looking at him saying, Andreas, I don't think this harmony will work because we already have 1,000 harmonies. And he just looked at me and he was like, trust me, it works. Saying, but yeah, and then it was pitched and placed to them. It was so long ago. Like, it's crazy because sometimes some songs I try to remember, but it's just the memories are far away.
Mm-hmm. How does your songwriting process change when creating music for markets in countries other than Sweden?
I think earlier I was thinking a lot, but today I think the best thing is to just always write with your heart and like because when you write a song and you feel it, you know it's good. And I think that's the recipe, not to overanalyze to who you're writing, because in the end, everyone wants a great song. Everyone, like, you get leads from different labels. We want a hit song, we want that. But in the end, people want to feel. People want to feel joy. People want to feel if it's all emotions. But everyone wants that good song. And I don't like to copy other songs that already exist. But unfortunately, that you also get leads. Like, some artists, they get super inspired by other artists. And of course, sometimes you need to bring the influences to make it connect in a way so the artist can connect. But I always try to just feel it. I think that's the secret weapon.
Tell us about Kumau that was released by Aysat Amdan and Anim Dia. Where was this written, and how did you end up being one of the songwriters?
That song was also written at Northbound. Another camp where I remember it was just good feeling, good mode in the room. And I sat, he had an idea. He wanted to write something more like vibey and chill, a little bit like it had summer feeling. And so we did. It was just everyone throwing out ideas, melodies, and we combined it all together. And I remember we wanted to make it a duet. So in the demo, I'm the one singing the demo, but then also Hanin is singing the duet with him, and she was at the camp as well. So they kind of connected them together, and I think it's a beautiful, chill, cozy song, romantic song.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Tell us about the song a little longer, released by Broler. Are you and Patrick singing on this track?
Yes, it's me and Patrick singing on the song. A little longer was the whole idea of the song. I was in UK, and remember walking in a clothing store, and I heard another song in the background. Did not hear melodies, I only heard chords, and the whole melody of "Won't you stay a little longer with me?" I heard it, so I took my phone and sang it. And then I remember that I felt that there's something special with this voice memo, because I mean, the story is I carried a feeling that something was gonna happen in my past relationship, and it was just emotions. I'm a lot of emotions. So I remember going back when I was back in Sweden. I told Patrick and Herman, I played them the memo, that short snippet, and they totally like felt the vibe, and it became a duet with me and Patrick. And then it was pitched to Broiler. They loved it, and they asked if they could keep our vocals, and we said yes.
Would you and Patrick do like a song together in the future?
Never say never. I think me and Patrick, we work so much together, so and we support each other so much. So I would not be surprised if there would be a duet with us in the future. But like, who knows? We will always support each other, and maybe someday.
Yeah, because I like the mix of your voices in that track. So
thank you so much. I always love having my voice with his voice. No, we have a lot of duets. We've written a lot of songs where we mash our vocals together. I mean, we've done that a lot, especially in I would say like Move and Treading Water, one of the Idol songs we wrote. We're always the choir in the song. We always do harmonies together and dub each other. Like, our voices blend together very well, and it's fun working like that.
What do you like to do for fun when you're not working on your music?
Cooking. Cooking, taking walks, hanging out with my friends, meeting my family, and just it's quite sad actually, because I finally moved like to my own flat, my own place, and what I wanted to do was just to like invite my parents and just cook them an amazing meal, because I've always been so bad at cooking. Growing up, my friends never wanted to eat my food, but something happened along the way, and now they want to eat it. So I can't wait till that day when I can just sit with my parents here in my new apartment without like being stressed out about the pandemic going on and just cook them a great meal. So yeah, cooking, taking walks, playing tennis, and is it paddleboard? Paddle in English? Yeah.
I think so.
I love doing that as well, like everyone else. I followed the trend.
Yeah, it's a lot of those things now, and the new buildings and places. So.
Yes, and I actually bought like a paddle, like a racket, and I remember like, okay, I can't buy an expensive one, but then I just went to the store and I saw one with. When I grew up, I loved the show Charmed, with the three witches, and like the sign of the show is on my paddle racket. So I had to buy it, and it was a little bit too expensive, but I'm hoping the power of three will help me when I play.
Yeah. Can you share what kind of food do you like to cook?
I'm a sucker for scampi and shrimps. Like, I love it. And I would say pasta with Parmesan, lemon, and also like making sushi. I bought an air fryer, so when I don't have time, I like to air fry stuff. No, but I would say pasta, and making like a great veggie lasagna. Yeah,
that's nice.
And tapas is also very good. Tapas always works.
You have been working on your debut EP. What can you share about it?
My debut EP is songs I needed to hear when I was younger, and songs I still need to hear and remind myself of. They're about self-love, accepting yourself, letting yourself bloom, and yeah, I can't wait to release my EP. It's songs that I could never ever give away to someone else, and I'm just so excited to let everyone hear them, and hopefully it can be heard of someone who needs to hear it, like little Mel.
When are you planning to release it?
This year. I don't have a specific date yet, because 2 of the songs on the EP is written with Carl Fredrik Reichardt, and he's in Denmark. And I haven't been able to go to Denmark, so it's been a little bit of a struggle to finish the song, but now finish the songs. But now we have a plan finally. So in March, I'm gonna like finalize those 2 last songs. And we're gonna start with the visuals pretty soon, so hopefully a single before summer, and then the EP will come out maybe, I don't want to say anything because I don't know yet. Hopefully it will come out faster than planned, and maybe it will just sometime this year, but I promise that when it comes out, Mel's gonna be excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
What are your career goals for 2021?
My career goals is to focus more on myself as an artist, and to also challenge myself as a songwriter. With that, I mean writing to artists that to me feels impossible to play songs to, but will be possible one day. You have to start somewhere, and I remember just feeling that I want to do music, I want to work with music, and here I am today working with music, so that worked, and I always want to challenge myself. So yeah, dream bigger. I would say dream bigger and focus more on myself as an artist. I think it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And lastly, where can people find you online?
People can find me online on Instagram. I would say like Instagram, Facebook. You can find me online there as well. But I think I'm faster at replying and seeing stuff and posting stuff on Instagram. I also have a Twitter account. And after this Mello journey, I've realized that many people are on Twitter. So maybe I should seriously start tweeting more.
You should.
Yeah, I think both me and Patrick realize that.
Just being online active. You don't like need to dig into it. Just like posting, making sure people know you're alive and seeing things.
I think I'm gonna be better at posting this year, but 100% Instagram.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you, Isel. It was a pleasure talking to you.